last few days have been a bit rough. I'm getting over it, I think. Actually, I'm not. I've been crashing out last few days, completely honestly. But yeah, it's got to try and roll with it. And I got a good support network, so that helps.
So what actually happened? Because I probably saw you once. Looking at it from a viewer, you guys seem to be going okay. What actually happened?
Yeah. Yeah. If you just see what's on TV, it makes it look like it's great. But I don't know if you've noticed that a lot of the edits, a lot of time that is on TV, it's normally Ash speaking to me or her saying something to me, those type of things. Like, a lot of things I said and a lot of things I brought up just got completely cut from the footage. Yeah, there was a lot of conversations where I'm trying to voice, look, I like to take things a little bit slow. We're here for about 3 months together every day. It's about trying to build something slowly, something organically, those type of things. And I just felt pressurized to really rush into things. There was conversations where she was like, I need to know if you're going to be the father of my children. And it's like a week with knowing her. I'm
Uh,
like, I'm having for breakfast tomorrow, let alone bloody this. And it's just like constant conversations like that. And I try to explain on camera, off camera, everywhere that it will be a slow process. I am working on myself and I want to try and do the right things and do this correctly. And I just felt like we're on the same race, but I'm lagging behind and she's left her running partner behind kind of thing.
were you a fan of the show originally? Had you watched previous seasons?
Not really. Hey, the only one season I watched was the last season. That was the very first season I ever watched. And yeah, like my mate was like, I should apply. We got into it that season and it popped up and then we're like, why not give it a go?
I feel like Ash, she's openly admitted that she was a super fan. So I feel like maybe that's why she was trying to rush things. Like, what do you make of that?
Yeah, maybe. Absolutely maybe. Maybe she saw on previous seasons what other couples have become or other couples did do or those type of things. But that's not real life.
Yeah.
You you got to be present in real life and be with the person that you are and a bit of leeway in how they feel as well. It's like even especially like the last weekend I was there or even the weekend before, there's like 2 weekends where that's the time where we get try and go out without cameras on or we can try and go on dates and try and connect a lot better than not just being stuck in the hotel. And she'll just leave for the whole Saturday. Wake up, 9 o'clock, she's gone, gets home at late at night. That happened a few times. And I'm like, how am I meant to build something with someone if you're not around?
Do you feel like she wasn't putting in that effort when cameras went rolling?
Yeah, I really do think so. I think that it started off like a really good friendship. Like we connected on a friendship level like straight away. But then over time, that kind of disappeared as well. Cracks started to show a lot, and we weren't even getting along. There's times where I would just be sitting there silently in the room. I would go to bed, like on the side of the bed, like right up, facing the other way. There was just nothing really, yeah, going on. I feel like the effort wasn't there. I was struggling a lot with a really bad ear infection. I've got one as well. Love that for me. But yeah, that really did affect. I couldn't hear anything the whole show as well. I was up most nights, getting like no sleep with like tissues in my ear because it's leaking, those type of things. So there's a lot of things where, you know, that did affect things as well. And there were times where I was feeling a bit about myself because even like the commitment ceremonies and the dinner parties, I can't hear anything. So I'm sitting there on this couch for 8 hours listening to everyone or listening to everyone speak. I'm sitting in silence for 8 hours. I'm like, that is the most boring I've ever done in my entire life. And everyone's laughing. I'm like doing the whole like pretend laugh as soon as someone else laughs. I'm like, I don't hear shit. They could have been saying the worst things about when I'm laughing. But anyway, ran off track. Yeah, the effort wasn't there. And then when the camera turns on, it's like a completely different person. And it's just like a bit of a head on my end where I'm like, who's the real Ash? You know what I mean?
You mentioned that she was out on the weekends and was out all day. Now it's come to light that she was actually out with some of the other girls and she was hanging out with other
I
cast.
think that really sucks. And even if I wasn't feeling well, an invite would have been appreciative. I would have really appreciated an invite and I would have come. And I think hanging out with everyone would have been great, but I didn't have a clue where she was, what she was doing. I had no contact from her. I was literally just sitting in my room trying to
Yeah.
like do my own thing. Yeah, I know that those weekends they really sucked.
Did anyone else from the group make an effort with you or try and get to reach out and try and get to know you?
There was some really good, actually really good crew members that were on the show. I think Billy's a really great guy. He's straight up. Took me under his wing, but like, we connected straight away. He's a Perth boy as well, and we connected straight off. Athena as well, she's great. I love that woman. We had great chats at the dinner party. I've seen her randomly out a few times in Perth. We've had good chats. I think she's a really good person, real bubbly person. I think the main two, like Dave's really nice. Jeff was really nice to me. Like those boys there were like kind of like my solid crew as
Yeah.
such. But yeah, I think it was mainly them.
Funny you mentioned Billy because Billy was one of the first people to call you out for making those comments about his wife.
Yeah, yeah. I think he had to do that though, didn't he? I think he had to. If I was in his shoes, that's something that I would have done as well. You're going to defend your wife. He's still at that stage of the show trying to build a connection with her and trying to make something of it. And he's going to do that. And I have no issues with Billy about him doing that. I think he has good morals by doing that. So yeah, I don't know. I enjoy the guy. If he doesn't like me, then it is what it is. But I think he's a really good guy, and yeah, I got no issue with him.
Sorry to go back to the wedding.
Yeah,
Was there an initial spark between you and Ash, or like how did you feel? Was she your typical type, or
no, it's that's the thing as well, dude. The show makes it out straight away that we're head over heels for each other. There wasn't an initial spark between us. There wasn't, and I said that on camera during my Voxy. I said I'm not initially attracted to her. I can appreciate that she's a lovely woman and she's a beautiful woman in her own way. It's just not the typical person I go for. So I think they cut all of that, me saying it to the camera, cut me, my mate pulling me out and talking to me about it because they've asked him to take me out and talk about it. They cut us talking about it at the honeymoon, where Ash and I had a conversation saying we both don't have that spark between us yet. It's not just me saying that, it was her saying that as well. And they cut all of that.
what was the rest of the honeymoon like?
Honeymoon was terrible, I'm not gonna lie. One, it was they put us in like a 4-star hotel resort for starters. Other people got to go to fucking like Fiji and some triggering.
Yeah.
And it was raining in the Sunshine Coast, not really sunshine. But yeah, it wasn't a great honeymoon. They said they had all these big plans for us to do things, but they took us to a spa for 30 minutes, got in, got out, and then we just stayed around the resort for the whole time. And again, I was struggling in my ear at this point already from wedding day onwards. I'm like on antibiotics. I was on antibiotics for like 6 weeks straight during the show, like leaking pus out of my ear every day. Just I didn't have a good time, and we can get along and talk as like friends as such, but there's no spark between us at all. But also, only knowing someone for a day or two, we should only be really in that friend stage. That's how I get to know someone. I get to know who you are, what you do, what you like, those type of things. And that's what I like. But I guess she didn't like that I was taking 3 days to do that kind of thing.
You guys do have your photo challenge. Do
Yep.
you regret placing Ash? What is it, fourth?
Putting her fourth.
Was it fourth? Where did you
Yeah,
place
I think, yeah. I don't regret putting her there because I try and be as honest and open as possible. I think I'm an honest person. I think that's a great spot. You I think she put me 4 or 5 as well, and I have no resentment against that either. There's just people in life that are conventionally more attractive than other people, and that's just life. I know I'm not the most attractive person in the world. If she put me first, I know she would be lying. So I appreciate the honesty from her as well. But yeah, the photo ranking challenge is interesting. I should have just refused to do it. It is what it is. It's done. They cut out a lot of things and made me look way worse than it actually was. And when I was actually complimenting people, they made it look like I wasn't and whatnot.
We do gotta let's talk about those comments
Yeah,
for Jackie Crazy Eyes
yeah,
and Sierra.
yeah. So the Jackie Crazy Eyes comment, I just wouldn't pull that from my ass. It was funny enough. It was when after the the hens party and the Bucks party, then I obviously married Ash, and then we were having conversations during that time and on the honeymoon and the wedding night about the other people. Oh yeah, I met these people, this person, blah blah blah. And she was trying to explain who Jackie was, and then that's when she's going, "Oh, the one with the crazy eyes." So she's actually said that first, and it was all the way back then. And she did repeat it later on. Me being an idiot, but I think I'm a pretty funny guy, and I thought it was a pretty safe space. Thought it was a safe space. Doing that challenge, I've done it like 4 or 5 times at this point, and I'm like the production crew are not happy with anything I'm saying, and they're like, "You need to spend 30 seconds on each girl. You need to give me detailed stuff, like blah blah blah." And then I had nothing left in the brain, and my mouth goes before my brain. I just said, "Oh, yeah, Jackie with the crazy eyes," and I actually looked at her while I was saying it, a bit of a callback, and I got nothing. And then from that comment, me saying that and seeing her face, I was like, "Oh, you done me here. Absolutely done me here." Yeah, and yeah, I was instantly triggered. Instantly triggered. I was like, I can't believe you've done that to me. Not, no laugh, no nothing. She definitely would have known why I was saying it. Yeah, the Sierra comment, Ash did say she has like an intimidating face. Previously, some similar conversations. She didn't say anything about the stabber thing. I added that. But just a bit of banter, man. I should have banter with my partner and should have. It's clearly a joke. I really don't think she's gonna be standing at the end of the bed with a knife kind of thing. It's clearly just a bit of banter. If I banter with someone, what are you doing, dude? I don't know. That, yeah, I don't know. That triggered me.
I felt like because I think there was a few comments saying it's like one thing to joke about it and then it's another on camera. Like,
Yeah, like I'm the idiot for doing it on camera, and obviously I apologized to the girls at the commitment ceremony. Straight away, apologized to them. Rah, rah, rah. The show made it out to be like one, and then oh, there was something else said, and then I took my time and I didn't want to say it, but I apologized to the girls straight up. Yeah, doing it on camera is I'm an idiot for doing that. Absolutely, should have known better as such. But also, I'm just human, dude. I've never been in that pressure cooker environment before. As I said, I've done that, did it for 4 or 5 times, and I'm just like completely done at that point. The production crew, I think, were very pressurizing the whole show. Constantly, like when even when me and Ash were like finished whatever they wanted us to do, they would just stay there, the cameras waiting for us to say something else. And at the end of that challenge there, they got me walking out saying, I'm done, walk off. They literally told me to do that. They said, if you're done, I don't want the cameras on, just say I'm done and walk off. So that's what I did. And with the fucking intense music in the background, and like I'm walking off, it looks like I'm done. Oh man, I saw that and I was like, you fucking sneaky bastards, eh?
it's funny
But
though.
yeah. And then even let's go back to the photo challenge, even with the Athena thing, not racist, but that thing, I put her really high. I was actually complimenting her appearance. I was like, oh, like I thought she had really nice facial features, but they cut the bit where I was like saying it's really nice instead of I'm not racist. Oh, her facial features. I only like Caucasian. And I'm like, bruh. I was actually complimenting her quite highly.
Yeah, but some would argue that it's like a sympathy vote where you're putting her up first because didn't you mention that you thought the other guys would place her last or something?
No, I thought the other guys obviously put her maybe like middle rank as such, only because again, she is lovely, but I think they'll put their partners before them and partners that more look like their partners kind of thing. I think she's beautiful personally, and I only have compliments for her. I actually love her to death. But look, as I said, dude, I'm human. I said, I owned up to what I said. I don't have a filter when I should have a filter.
Yeah.
But I'm not media trained. So I think they took that really out of context for me, make me look horrible. And I think that made me like could potentially ruin my reputation as a person and who I am. I could have that lingering over me for ages, and I don't want that because that's not who I am. And for them to hate me that way, I think it's pathetic.
How are you finding the edit and the sort of backlash? Because up until that photo challenge, there wasn't much, and now after that, you're just copying it all in one hit.
Yeah. I think I'm not handling it the best, if I'm completely honest. I think it definitely gotten to me how they have betrayed me, and obviously the people around me, they know what I'm like, they know who I am, but the nation now think this completely falsified opinion of me, this falsified character of who I am. And I think what they've done to create drama because they need drama for their show, I think is just absolutely disgusting.
And is that how you feel about the show at the like this show and the production?
My experience was horrible. I had a horrible experience. I feel like a number. I felt like they weren't treating us like humans as such. The reason why I got this crazy ear infection was because of this show. And it was only until the fourth time I went to the doctor is when they were like, okay, we'll pay for this one. I had to pull it all out of my own pocket before that because they're like, oh, it's not, you didn't get this on the show. I was like, well, yeah, I did. Like, I didn't have this before I came into the show. All the flying, all the stress. I couldn't take my antibiotics when I needed to, all that kind of stuff, all added to like my well-being. I was not happy on that show. I was miserable. I was not myself in any aspect on that show whatsoever. Felt like I'm a completely different person and it taken time. Even now, I don't feel like myself still to be back where I was. I just felt like, all right, oh, there we go. There's the point. There's the comment we needed from. All right, cool, we're done. But they're waiting, just waiting for it. Just waiting for the keynote and me to say something or something to happen. And just like there's a time I was like, I need to leave. I just don't feel well. And then eventually went out and I just had to go at one of the production crew. I was like, you're meant to be here for me, supporting me, and all you've done is the complete opposite. And I was crying and it was horrible. And I shouldn't have to deal with that.
After the CC, you guys decided to give it another week. Next day, you went out. What sort of changed your mind overnight?
Funny enough, I was done that night. I wanted to leave that night. They refused to let me leave, if I'm completely honest. They put me in a different hotel room. They said, oh, just sleep on it, just sleep on it. I was like, no, I want to leave right now. Book me my flights right now. I mean, at this point, I've been up for like 48 hours straight. I didn't sleep a wink last night before this commitment ceremony. Just the stress of it and my ear and everything. I was just completely could not sleep a wink. So after the commitment ceremony day, which is like virtually a 24-hour filming day, I mean, at 48 hours, I was done. My trust got completely broken, and I rely heavily on trust and loyalty and all those type of things. And that got shattered realistically and made me out to be an absolute villain. And I knew within myself I couldn't come back from that with this person. I knew that it just wasn't going to happen. The spark wasn't there yet. And then this is just another layer of stuff that just got added to it. I was done. And I said, I wanted to leave that night. And they'd said, no, sleep on it, wouldn't let me. And I was constantly messaging production, no, get me out of here. I even found them flights. I was like, get me on this flight. And oh, no, no, wait. And then get me on another flight. They were gaslighting me all the time. Eventually, they rocked up at 10 a.m. the next morning. Still haven't, not in my back in my own room yet. Oh, we got here. You should be lucky that someone's here. We don't normally work this day. For us, I don't gaslight me. And then oh, do you want to leave and not be recorded? Australia's going to think that worse of you. Let's record you leaving. So I did all of that and then left. But yeah, I wanted to leave on that time because I was just done. I think I probably internally I was probably done before that as well. As I said, I had a miserable time. They didn't want me to talk about my ear infection at all the whole time. Kind of pathetic because it was a major player for me. There was a time where they let me go downstairs of the hotel to get something to eat. They called me and said, where are you? And I said, You guys let me leave. I said I'll be up at 7:30, 7:15. They've come down to grab me because we don't know where you were. You weren't responding, all this kind of stuff. And they just completely flipped the switch and say, don't gaslight me and tell me I can go somewhere. And then you come down here and tell me I was refusing to come back. Yeah, but I just said, I got myself a
Is
zinger
it-
box. I was like, I just had recordings and I was like, I'm getting myself a zinger box, bro. So I went down, got myself a zinger box, and I rang them like, hey, yeah, I just ordered my food. It's like 7:15. Just ordered my food. Just gonna eat it. And I'll be up about 7:30 to 7:15. And the guy comes down like 2 minutes later. You're refusing to come up, blah blah blah. I was like, you motherfuckers. So I had they didn't like me. I know they didn't like me. I had the big dog after the CC come and chat to me because I was not happy whatsoever. And she's like, oh yeah, I've heard a lot of things about you. I've heard you like anti-production. I said, no, I'm not anti-production. I'm anti being treated like a number. Treat me like a human and actually talk to us and listen to us because I didn't feel listened.
And so, what was their reaction to that?
They're just nothing. That's the issue. There's no change. There's no accountability on their end. It's just fluff, complete fluff to make me feel better. There's just gaslighting. There's those type of things. Me and Ash weren't getting along and stuff, but I was also having another battle with production.
Yeah.
I'm just like, just listen to me. I can give you what you need. You want me to be myself? Then let me be myself. Let me actually relax and enjoy my time here instead of just hounding me 24/7. There's times where I know it's a small thing, but they said we're going to let you know every time we come and record between. They might say we could come between 9 and 2. Sweet. They didn't do that one day, and I don't know if it might have been the photo ranking challenge day because my hair looked fucked. I had the worst. That was the worst hair I've ever had there because I just got out of the shower, didn't do anything, and they come storming in, cameras on, and all this bullshit. I'm like, you didn't tell us you were coming. We don't have to. It's, yes, you did. You told us that this is how it's going to happen. You're going to tell us, but approximately what times you're coming or are. Then we had a bit of argy-bargy about that as well. And then, yeah, you saw how the rest of that day went.
You also have a hair situation on your wedding day.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to look good, dude. But I'm literally, as soon as I got home to Perth, the next day I went and got a haircut.
And I was going to say, you're rocking a new look.
Yeah, little modern mullet, bro. Digging it, eh? It's good, bro. It's so much better as well. But yeah, I had to cut it, and I did also I was like, I don't want no one to recognize me, so I just cut my hair.
Have you been getting spotted in public?
Nah, I haven't. I'd say on TV I've got long hair. No one's really spotted me at all. I'm glad for. So yeah,
Where do you stand with Ash at the moment?
I haven't spoken to her at all since the show finished. I don't have any contact with her. I don't have a number, no Insta, no nothing, no email, literally not one bit of contact. We never even exchanged contacts when we were on the show, and then I left, and there's been nothing since.
And you didn't go back for promo or the reunion. So
Yes,
tell us.
no, I didn't go back for anything. I was still on doctor's orders. I couldn't fly. At that point, I've been to like gazillion specialists for my ear. The flying just fucks it completely if I still have an ear infection. This ear infection lasted 6, 7, 8 weeks. I was on antibiotics, fucking up my insides realistically for like 6, 7, 8 weeks, which came with more complications, obviously, my gut health and all that kind of stuff. Two different types. The strongest antibiotics you can get orally. I'm taking drops. I was having a horrible time. Didn't go back for any of the promo shoot. Didn't go back for the reunion. They were the main reasons as well. But also being back in that environment, I'd feel like it's not exactly would have been healthy for me at that point.
Yeah. And you've obviously seen some of the episodes. What are your thoughts on Tim and how he's clapping it? Your edit isn't nowhere isn't bad, but did you have much to do with him?
I try to take everything I see with a grain of pinch of salt. Now being there and knowing how they do things and how they edit things, I try and take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously, you said a few things that weren't the best either, but I've also seen a lot of things off camera about Katie that I don't like, and they make her to be this great person and all those type of things as well. But I disagree with that. I think they're both as bad as each other. But
Literally.
yeah, um, Kay's real sneaky, like little snarky, like sneaky. I don't know, like I just the vibe wasn't getting in some of the actions and stuff, like her interactions with Ash and stuff. I wasn't feeling who she was off camera. Obviously, Tim's got it bad, and I don't think anyone should be getting hounded like he is. I heard a lot of things like he's lost his job or like his parents ring out saying this person teach him us kids, all this type of thing. I think that's people, all the boomers, bro. They just believe everything you see. Yeah, I just think about it both about each other. I think that the edit really paints him horribly and her great when I think there's more 50-50.
Yeah. You're a school teacher. Was there any part of you worried, or what was
Oh, absolutely.
that like going
Um,
to school with?
I was luckily everyone who knows me, like my principal, my deputies, and all the staff members, and I'm like what you see now, what I am. I'm exactly like that in a school, obviously with more of a filter, clearly, but like my personality doesn't change, and so they know who I am, and I've had is support from my school and my principal, and I'm really glad for that. But absolutely, when the community ceremony episode, so the photo ranking challenge episode came out, oh yeah, I was worried how they edited that. I was like, I'm going to lose my job. I thought I was generally felt like I was going to my personal life, my daily life was going to change, and I don't think they should do that. I think that one, Australia needs to realize there's more that goes on, and I think Channel 9 need to realize this is still people's lives. Yes, they need ratings and edits and all that kind of stuff, but it's still people's lives and it's still people's well-being that can be ruined with how you edit things.
What do you think needs to be done? Well, what can they do better?
Just keep it 100, bro. Just keep it how it is. I know it might let both sides of the story get heard. I did so many voxies expressing myself and so many voxies telling me how I feel and that I'm hurting and all this stuff, and not one ever got shown. I know they got to fit a lot in one episode, those type of things, but I feel like they get everything and go, okay, this person's a bad guy this series. Oh yeah, and then after that person leaves, we're gonna jump onto this person, and but etc. When it's that's not real life. The show isn't real life, and they need to actually take a step back and listen to the contestants, and maybe let us have an input. Anyway, like, it's my life too. I get what they need to do, but I see the episodes when everyone else sees the episodes. I can't even prepare myself for what's coming. I can't prepare myself for, am I going to need support? Am I like all those type of things? I think that they need to take a good hard look at themselves, honestly. Like me and Ash are bees knees. We're Shrek and Fiona. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not like that at all. They get what they want. They just take it and they run with it.
And what do you, if there's a message you can send to viewers, what do you want people to know?
I just want people to know that it's reality TV. Don't believe everything that you see and take everything with a pinch of salt and just realize that everyone on that show in their own way is a great person, but they won't let that shine in everyone.
Yeah. And are you back to dating again? What's going on in your world?
I'm single, as completely honest, but I'm happy at the moment. I'm just trying to honestly, that show has taken me back a while, so I've just wanted to chill with myself and be happy with myself and get back to where I was, how I was feeling before the show. But yeah, I am on the dating apps, because you never know, someone might pop up that I really connect with, and I don't want to miss that opportunity. So yeah,
There was leaked messages the other week of maybe some mean comments you made about Ash. Is that true, or do you have anything to say?
I've actually put in a cease and desist letter, so I'll let that happen first. Yeah, but there was a lot of falsified things. I wouldn't be putting through a cease and desist letter if I didn't think they had merit for it.
My last question is, why are you speaking out today?
I'm speaking out because I feel like Australia has this screwed opinion of me. I'm not trying to like defend myself as such, but I feel like there's just so much that's going on. I'm speaking out because I don't want other people to get put in this situation where they feel like shit, they feel depressed, they don't feel like themselves, that they started to think, who am I? Vibe. I don't want people to feel like that. I don't want Australia to believe everything in. I want production crew to be better. I want everything to be better. The show does have potential. There's so many things that can be fixed. And I just want other people to know that there's good in there, but it's behind closed doors. They don't want to show it. Don't get me wrong, like when I was there, I was pissed off because I said I felt disrespect, felt like a number, stuff like that. But I get it. They have a show to make. I'm not an idiot. I know how it works. They got to get their ratings in. They got to get their shots. They got to get all that. I get that. But yeah, I'm not trying to be spiteful in any way whatsoever. I'm just want to be heard, and I want Australia to know that we can be better as a collective.